Hi there, very good morning. Welcome back to ET Now. You're watching Market Cafe with me, Kanishka Sarkar and Srishti Sharma. And over the next 1 hour, we'll take you through all the global and domestic cues that you must watch out for and also tell you about the stocks that you need to keep on your radar today. So let's get started with an eye on the globe and see how Wall Street fared overnight. And it was a mixed session that we saw overnight on Wall Street with some profit-taking happening after fresh record highs that were seen in intraday. The S&P 500 that slipped about 0.3%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average that fell more than 460 points or roughly about 1%. Even after both of these indices touched their new all-time highs earlier in the session, that is intraday, the tech-heavy Nasdaq composite that actually bucked the trend, rising nearly 0.2%, helped by a 2.5% jump in Alphabet that we saw. Now remember, the Google parent briefly overtook Apple to become the world's most valuable company for the first time since 2019. And despite the ongoing geopolitical tensions, markets have largely remained resilient, and in fact analysts are now saying that geopolitical risks, they tend to move markets only briefly before investors refocus on fundamentals like earnings, margins and valuations. So yes, that's about the markets. But looking ahead, investors are going to brace for potential volatility later in the week, with the Supreme Court expected to issue opinions on the legality of the tariffs that were imposed by President Donald Trump, which is the key headline risk that could move the markets. So yes, that's how the Wall Street is looking, Srishti. Mixed moves over there, but a key week. The legality of tariffs is something that we'll watch out for in the remaining week. But how are things looking on the crude front?
Quite interesting, Kanishka, because with respect to the crude oil prices, we have seen the inventory data coming in, as well as the crude is seen to be rising after the 2-day of decline. As of now, WTI crude is trading above that $56 per barrel mark, while a slight uptick overnight is what we have seen on Brent oil as well, where the market is been assessing the fresh US actions in Venezuela, because US to take long-term control over Venezuelan crude sales. And yes, of course, the fresh commentary coming in from Trump as well, that wherein how that money is going to be utilized from all that Venezuela will get from the purchases of the crude oil that US will make, and yes, vice versa, the companies will try to make an investment and make purchases of the US products as well. But for crude oil prices, quite interesting moves, and along with that, silver has seen a decline of almost 3.5% overnight, while gold is trading absolutely flat for now.
All right, so that's about crude and metals. But
if you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.